Hello, good morning, habari zenu, buena vista, how are you? I am Mjomba, lecturer at Taita University. My area of specialization is communication, media studies and theater arts, and I'm actually also a specialist in training and consultancy. I help people with communication issues, I help organizations with relational issues at the workplace in case they are actually having conflict about negotiation, how to go about making a public speech. And I also like to mentor young people. I like to give motivational speech. I write books about young people. I write to schools about how to succeed in the exam. I also like to come to schools and give motivational talks. Today I'm going to share to you about my American experience, titled Unleashing Potential, My American Experience. My American story began in April 1998. I got admitted to an MA program in African Studies in the Center of International Studies, Ohio University. It was a one-year program. So, from September 1998, I asked a one-year study leave from the Teachers Service Commission. I was due back in 1998 September, but I landed in May 2006 after 8 years stay in the US. Going to America was one of the boldest moves I've ever done in my life at that particular time. Bold in the sense that it was the first time that I was leaving the country. I did not know what to expect. I was jumping into the unknown. I did not know who I'm gonna meet. I did not know how I was gonna turn out. I did not know how to behave when I got to the US. It was even more scary stepping into that Alitalia flight to Rome on the 3rd of September 1998 at the JKIA. Scary in the sense that it was my first time to fly, it was my first time to go overseas, and it was my first time to be separated from my family. My family at that time was very young. Papa Alan was 8, Papa Maestro was 6, Jojo was only 2. I was worried. At the airport, I was just a mess. I was worried, how am I going to leave Maria? I was worried, how is she going to survive without my financial support? My study leave was unpaid, so I had to worry about money. I was worried, how are the children going to take it? How are the children going to turn out? I'd stayed with them 10 years straight without separation. I was worried, how are they going to handle it? As I left that airport, my tummy was all in knots. I was a roller coaster. My brain was just a mess. I landed at the Newark airport in New Jersey next day mid-morning. I remember it was a clear, bright morning, but something was amiss. There was something in the air that didn't make sense at all. There were no handshakes, there was no excitement, people were rushing to and fro, and I was wondering what kind of a world this is. I was used to big, warm handshakes, the laughs, people are excited, people are chatting. There wasn't anything like that when I landed in the US. It was a different atmosphere. At first, America was a strange experience. It was an alien experience. I found it so strange. The people, the mannerisms, the foods, the culture, the way people actually communicated. It was very different from where I had come from. I could not actually comprehend what was going on. The hand gestures, the verbals, the accents. I was completely confused. I guess I was in culture shock. One thing though I noticed immediately I landed was the skyscrapers, the big super highways and the big limousines in those cars. There were the big mansions. Everything was big, big, big in America. There was a pervading notion that big is better, more is mightier. I could see it and I could understand why poor immigrants would actually want to get more and more and more. Consumerism was all over the place. one thing I decided straight away was I'm not gonna take that path. I decided to take the road less traveled. My story is really about the road less traveled. I decided I'm gonna live within my means, whatever happens. Secondly, birds of the same feathers flock together. At Ohio University, I was expected to actually stay and reside with my fellow countrymen or the Africans. Mill Street Apartments was where the African village was. That was where the Chinatown was. That's where the Indonesian camp was. People were living in camps. People were living together as a family. But I decided again to take the road less traveled. I moved into an international house where I lived with different nationalities. Well, I reasoned. I came to America to meet the world. I came to learn from the world. I came to learn from other people. I wanted to meet new people. I wanted to find new experiences, eat various foods, just get to learn different languages. And thirdly, there is the aspect of following the crowd. It's easy. It is nice. It's warm. It's cozy. When I was looking for an employment, there was the tendency that everybody goes to Columbus in Ohio. Columbus is the biggest city in the state of Ohio. Everybody runs there to look for a job. Again, I hit the road less traveled. I decided to actually venture into drumming, dancing, and teaching my African culture within Ohio University. It wasn't easy. It wasn't something that you just wake up and do. There were challenges. There was a lot of resistance. Many laughed at me. They called me names: comedian, clown, performer, jester. But that didn't faze me. One thing I learned very early is don't answer your critics. And I taught dance and drumming. I taught to the kids. I taught African culture and arts. Then we also taught with Maria when she came. We taught the kids African cultural arts. I taught them how to sing and dance in African languages. And I won the heart of the kids. I struck a chord of the kids and I started making news. Athens Messenger put a nice piece there on Thursday, July 26, 2001. Kenyans strikes chord with kids. That was the beginning of making news. I made news in the front pages where I started leading parades doing the African drumming. I made the back pages of magazines where I was actually leading the parade. This is the Ohio Today in 2004 where I was actually leading the parade. And the adults were not left behind. We actually had the adults also join. We had drum circles that I organized where we actually drummed with the adults. We drummed during the day, we drummed during the night. And it was all a part of sharing my culture. It was a part of getting to earn a living. It wasn't a road that was easy to travel, but I did travel. One of my learners, or one of my students that I attracted was Billy Crocker, who we actually joined hands and we started teaching drumming all across southern eastern Ohio. And here I was again in the news saying local drummers find satisfaction in teaching their art. Billy Crocker became a very good drummer. Talking about visibility and the drumming, after 8 months only in the US, I was actually famous, or let me say influential enough, and I got elected as the president of the International Students Union. The International Student Union had about 25 different nationalities represented in the association. It had actually had over 100 countries that the students were in. There were about 1,200 students. And here again, I was in the news saying leaders experiences crisis. And as you can see, I was there and I look at my comment now. I say any pressure I smile at, because I know it's building here. And it was quite some pressure actually in the US because I had to work a lot. If you are actually an international student, you have to work doubly hard. If you are actually an African, because of the color of the skin, there is that mentality that you cannot be able to do it. I learned that I had to excel. I had to be better than anybody. I had to answer as many questions as I had in the class. And that taught me and developed in me a skill of hard work, even harder than I was doing in Kenya. Every day I used to work 15 to 16 hours daily. This is a habit that I maintain, and I don't see any time stopping soon. America was quite an experience. I mean, I sit back and I look, reflect, and I marvel at what a journey it was. I look back and I see the paper that the Columbus Dispatch reporter actually said, captured it very well. He says, "Man long road to degree near an end." And he talks about it's been quite a journey for Leonard Mjomba. It has taken 7 years and several 15,600 miles to and from Kenya. It takes a long while to actually accomplish something. And I want to share with you students what is my secret. Very simple, just 3 words that I want to leave you with. 1, honesty. 2, hard work. And 3, humility. Honesty. Honesty actually goes with obedience. Honesty means being true to yourself. I was actually being true to myself. I actually was being authentic. Authentic means being original, not being fake. I was surprised. Many Kenyans, many Africans, when they go to the US, they actually want to turn into something else. After 1 month, they can't speak Swahili. After 2 months, they have their hair actually plaited. After 3 months, they're putting on big kind of dresses. They want to look like the African American. And that to me was what I thought as not being original. Creativity is really found in your originality. We are all having potentials, gifts, and things that are planted in us. They can never come out if you are not authentic. So I want to ask you, my dear students, remember, originality is the key. God made you and threw away the mold. You are an original. To unleash your potential, you have to be original. That's what I did. I just took the dancing, I just took the drumming, which I liked, which I was actually being myself, and see where it got me to. What it means is we should stop epic, do not ape. At the same time, honesty should be coined with obedience. I lost my father when I was very young, and one thing I learned was to pray and petition my Father who art in heaven for all my needs. He has never failed me. And one thing I learned at Sunday school is trust and obey God. I've done that. I've obeyed Him. I want to urge you to obey. Put God first. Put God first in your studies, in your work, in your play, in your life, and you'll meet success that is actually unprecedented. Secondly, the second H is hard work. You need to work hard. A lot of hard work. Extreme hard work. Thomas Alva Edison, the greatest inventor in America, once said, genius or success is 1% inspiration, 99% perspiration. You must sweat. You must work hard. For you to succeed in your exam, you must sweat. You must work hard. For you to bring out your potential, you must do that. I talked earlier, I used to work for 15 to 16 hours every day. I do that now, and I'm not going to stop doing that. It's only through hard work that you'll know what you are born to do, that you'll know your purpose. Dr. Miles Monroe said we need to die empty. We've got potential, we've got gifts that God has given us. You have to give them to the world. How do you give them? You've got to actually work, and work them. So in your co-curriculum, in your game, in your debate, put your all. Work hard. In your studies, 3 agendas. 1, read. 2, read. 3. Read, nothing else. That is what it is all about. I'll say hard work goes with perseverance, consistency, sticking to it. A PhD is not as hard as you think, but it is 5 years on the same thing, sticking it, reading it, smelling it, sticking it, sleeping it. You actually go around and somebody asks you something, you're talking about your topic. I remember somebody will ask me, so what is your name? My name is Leonard, PhD, Mjomba. It has to be your second name. So what is your second name? Is it physics? Are you Jen Mkamburi? Your second name now should be Jen Mathematics Mkamburi. Is your name John Mwamburi? Your name now should be John Physics Mwamburi. Make it your second name. Make your studies part and parcel of you. Because you'll have to actually consistently, persistently stick on it to find success. Many of us fail, not because of lack of ability, lack of all wholeheartedness, just being on it. You never see a matatu driver step on the gas pedal, then at one time stops and stays out and just says, have you seen how I know how to drive? No, they step on the gas pedal all the way from Voi to Mombasa. Why don't you in your studies, from Form 1, press on that gas pedal, press on that accelerator, step on it, and thirdly, humility. Humility and thanksgiving is the key to my secret to success. We know that success brings about pride. Dr. Miles Monroe put it very well. Your last success is your worst enemy. You know why? Makes you proud, makes you conceited, makes you complacent. You feel you have reached, you feel you are the greatest. And I found humility is an asset. Humility is an asset for self-improvement. You have succeeded, but you know I have yet to reach. There's no way I can reach. It's only when I'm 6 foot under that I reach. So humility gives you the aspect of wanting to learn more. People will feel comfortable to come to you. People will feel comfortable to share with you. You learn actually from other people. Pride comes before a fall. No one wants to relate with an egomaniac. No one wants to relate with a proud person. My secret, which I want to leave you, is humility. The Bible says, Lord will exalt those who are humble, but He's very angry with the proud. Do not be proud. Finally, thanksgiving. I discovered that gratitude is the attitude to a breakthrough. I repeat, gratitude is the attitude to success or a breakthrough. You've got to thank for the little that you get. A little success, say thank you, Lord. A little more, you say thank you, Lord. It even says in the Bible, those who are given and who are saying thankful, more will be added. I always say thank you. I remember my verse that I like was 1 Thessalonians 5:16 to 18. Rejoice in the Lord. Pray incessantly. Be thankful in all circumstances, because this is the will of God for you. However difficult it is in your studies, however nice it is, however they bully you, however they call you names, however they actually push you, you have to be thankful. Say the Lord thanks. Remember what I said when I was the president of the International Students Union? Pressure, I smile at. You know why? It builds me up. You cannot actually know who you are unless you are pushed, unless you are actually tormented, unless you are actually asked to do more. If they tell you to go 1 mile, go 2 miles. But with thankfulness, always be thankful. Thank you very much. If for more about my American stories, about my American experience, make sure to buy and get a copy of my books. One, Unleashing Potential, my American experience. And the other one is How I Set and Achieve My Goals. And for more information, you can also visit our website, www.mjombamanjadiacommunication.com. Also, don't forget to actually join us for the Holiday Enrichment Program at Mwangaza kwa Vijana Leadership Center, which will take place April and August 2009 at Mariveni near Taita Taveta University. Thank you. God bless.